Alright, so this video is going to be a little long. I figured I'd go over some wireless stuff and hopefully by the end of this we'll create a Android app. So I was looking into Drone ID and it's something I'm still looking into. But in the process, I came across this OpenDroneID, uh, both a transmitter for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and then a Android app. Best I can tell, it at least receives and decodes this OpenDroneID, but I don't know. There's some information out there. It looks like it might work for remote ID and drone ID, which if you go look up what that is, it's something I think that's going to be implemented, well, already is in some cases on particular types of drones, I guess over a certain weight. I don't know. I started reading up on it, but anyways, if you can bear with me here, we'll go build this together on DragonOS. So I've got a couple tabs open here. We'll start with this transmitter Linux, and we'll do it right on the desktop here. So this is for both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, a transmitter for this OpenDroneID. So one thing I did notice, and I guess we'll learn a little bit about Git in the process here. When I pull this down, if you look at the directions, I want you to get the submodules, but if we look at the, let's see, well, you'll see what I mean. It's not going to pull some of them in. I think because of the way that the Git is set up. And there's probably an easier way to do this, but what I did was, let's see, so if we look, the hostapd and blues and probably even core C, I think is all empty. So let's see, I'm just going to do this manually. And we'll clone, let's see, clone hostap, and we'll get let's see, and we'll do this core C. Let's see, we'll go right to, let's try this again. So we need to move hostap, we'll call it hostapd, say move to core C, and let's see, we need certain versions, do a git checkout. Okay, we can see we're at what it says, 5.53. What else I want to do? Hostapd. Do a git checkout. Probably should just put a ticket on here explaining what's going on, but let's see. And then we want this version. Let's see. Okay. We should have everything we need to build the transmitter. I've already ran what's needed to compile hostapd, but just so you see, this should be okay to do on DragonOS. It did install a couple additional packages that I didn't have. We will, let's see, bigger screen. Change into hostapd that we renamed, hostapd, copy default config to config. We'll make that. Okay, we'll go back to our transmitter Linux, make directory, build, and we'll change into it. Run cmake like it shows. So as long as you have all the submodules, then that should build, or should run cmake, and we should be able to build that. So now we built the transmit, and we can see how to run that. So, all right, we're good to go there. And let me think. If we look at our hostapd, oh, wait a minute. Leave that as is. We want to take a look at the beacon conf. And so I do have a WLAN 0, so I'm going to leave that as is. I'll leave everything else, what they've got set up here. I'll comment out this empty information element, and we'll check out this one that has a fixed location message. So we'll save that file, and let me think. So now we need to build our Android application. So I'll throw this on the desktop too. And so to build this, we need to go grab the Android Studio. It's under downloads on the developer.android.com. I'll grab this latest one. Yep, download latest, save it. If we look in our downloads, once this completes, so something else while that's downloading, this is a way to mirror your Android device, scrcpy. It should be where we can just install it from the repo, scrcpy. Yep. I'll install some things. You're going to need to enable USB debugging on your Android, and you'll have to plug it into the computer, and it'll ask to allow the connection. Let's see. Okay, so that might not work with this particular device. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Unplug it. Back in. Let's see. Always allow debugging. Let's see what we get. Okay, there we go. That'll be the app that we're going to build. Let me close that for now. Okay, so let's see, that's finished downloading. We'll look in downloads. We will unzip or extract the Android Studio. Okay. Go into bin and let's start this up, studio.sh. So I already ran this. I did delete it and start again, but it's probably got my settings saved. So let's see if we can start this as if it was, let's see, new. Let's try this again. Import project. We go to, let's see, we'll go to our desktop, receiver, Android, in the Android folder. Open that up. That's going to take a second because Gradle is going to be building and downloading and doing some things over here. Okay. If we come up to, oop, there we go. Come up to build. Oop, what's going on here? Come up to build. We will, let's see, make project. Let it finish. Okay. Now we can build a APK out of that project. Now the other thing too is, if you notice on the page, there is some directions to building this, of course. Let's see. Come down. Important thing is, apparently, if you want the actual map working, you're going to need a Google Maps API key. And before you built this project, you would update the key that's there. I'm not going to do that for this demonstration, but let's see. So you can create virtual devices here under virtual or physical. Because I have the phone in USB, that's why it's coming up here, and there's some directions on that as well. Running apps on hardware you can find, set up a device for development. Really the only thing I had to do for DragonOS was, after all other steps here, was enable that USB debugging. And then I've also set the phone to allow like unsigned packages to be installed. Didn't really have to mess with anything additional down here. I just was able to click run and set up my device. So what I can do now is take that, let's see, take and run that app against the device. Now let's see, I don't know if you'll be able to do this at the same time. Let's see. Let's see, I need to allow, okay. So I know the application is up there already. Let's see, but what I should be able to do is click run app. Let's see, and There you go. It pushes the app over USB, installs, and sets it up to run on the phone there. Okay, so now at this point, I know that was kind of quick, and obviously there's a lot with this Android SDK. That was just like a really quick run through. It's something I want to get more familiar with, but you should be able to get that app built fairly easily and sent over to the phone or downloaded, and then you can install it some other way. But so what we're going to do is we're going to have that running, and now we're going to come over here to our transmitter, and we will run, let me think, let's look and build. We need two things here. We need to use hostapd. Let's see, command line parameters. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do two windows. Get hostapd set up in one. Now keep in mind, I actually have two wireless cards in this laptop, but and this wireless card works, but you got to set that beacon thing to what your wireless device is. In this case, I do have a WLAN 0. So we'll go transmitter Linux. And so we want to go into that hostapd. Hostapd will use the binary and specify the beacon conf file. Yeah, okay. So that will get hostapd going. And then, okay, so we have the interface up and going, or for hostapd, and now we're going to use the transmit to make the wireless card transmit, and it's a -B and P with a sudo. So now what we should be seeing is the drone, or I guess in this case the OpenDroneID broadcasting on the wireless card, which will then receive. Oh, that must be a bogus thing that I was going to say. So let's see. So now we're transmitting. Let's see. Should see something else pop here. It's this one. I don't know where that came from. What's that? Well, we should be seeing this other one here. Let's try this again. Aha! There we go. So now if we look, that is this broadcasting, and of course the maps is not there. And there we go. So we see some ID information, location information, and so what I'm really curious is if this app actually does anything else besides this open drone ID. And so reading up on the receiver, I really don't know, other than somewhere it says Wi-Fi NAN, Wi-Fi Beacon. So I'm not really. It's not really clear what, other than right here. So I don't know. ID standard. So I don't know. I don't know what that actually apply. If that's the same as the remote ID or drone ID that I'm kind of more interested in. But anyways, thought that was a good little walkthrough there. Um, get a little bit of Android mixed in there, and yeah, okay. Hopefully that comes in use or of use to someone. All right, thanks.